here day 400 of sick week, it seems like. It's really day 4, but at Gainesville, and I am ready to roll. I'm feeling good about it this morning. I think we're gonna get a 7 today, at least I hope so. And the drive last night was decent. It was a whole lot better than the drive from Bradenton to South Georgia, I can tell you that much. It literally was half as much, so it's nice. But everything's looking good. I'm just gonna finish converting it over into race mode, and we're gonna go make a pass as soon as they call us to the lanes. I got D cars going first, so that's like all the dial your own cars and the bracket cars. So we'll be sitting here for a while, I think. But as soon as they open the lanes, I'm gonna go make a pass.
Clark's budometer was at full tilt during that wheelie yesterday, but he drove it out and did a great job.
It was awesome.
We need to give a shout out to Kevin at KSR for letting us come to the facility and give us a couple U-joints. And
I gotta get 2 from you. He said you gotta stop and get U-joints?
Yeah, pickle.
Okay.
What he said.
Place an order, get me 4 of them.
Yeah. I'll jump on your tune and fix that. The funny thing is probably as it was coming up, you know, it's dumping a bunch of timing because of the wheelie control, and that makes it build more boost.
Right.
So it was making the problem worse, not better. So we'll fix that. At that level, all the way across the finish line.
There you go.
That'd be cool.
get the finish line with the back tire.
Finish line with a back tire, that would be pretty awesome.
And then it'll go a 700 with an O, and he'll go, I still didn't go my head. If I'd have put the front tire down.
Go back out. Go back out.
Dog tongue hanging down low for him when it comes up and just falls down.
So this is the U-joint. So we just had the problems with the U-joints in mine, which wiped out my drive shaft. Thankfully, this didn't wipe out your drive shaft. But what in the heck? See that? And what is that right there? Did it do that its own? That's not you.
No, that's
it was so hot right there, it actually started melting the material.
I felt that going to the vibration when I was doing a wheelie.
Yeah, this was all on that wheelie pass.
Yeah, we drove it to the checkpoint. And the vibration. Wait, what? The funny, when we come back to return road, it had shaken the A&N fitting on the side of the transmission loose. So I plugged in the cooler to find the leak, tightened it up. By the time we got to the checkpoint, we changed the U-joints. After we changed the U-joints, we get the KSR. We've got another transmission leak, and all the boats.
Yeah, he said it on tail.
About 2 of them was ready to fall out. So if you get the first indication of I wonder
if that vibration from yours is what loosened up all the pan bolts. Because if we had that vibration, remember I said something going down the road. I'm like, there's a vibration in the floor that we didn't have when we started this. I said something to you. I thought it was the exhaust. Maybe it was a vibration of that U-joint that actually loosened up those bolts on that oil pan. Because it was definitely vibrating on my feet when we were traveling.
So what the deal is on these U-joints, I did not know this. So they do make the bigger U-joints, 1480 U-joint. That's where I'm gonna go to. That's where I'm converting all my stuff to. Looks like I'm going to the Carmack rear end, all billet, 10-inch or the 11-inch rear end. So got that in process. But apparently, so Carl Rosler calls me up and told me, he says, 5 years ago, there was a problem with, they changed the design on a Spicer 1350 U-joint. He says, and you can tell right away, the weak U-joints, and it said people were just breaking them like crazy. He says the weak U-joints have a white Teflon seal, and they're scalloped out here in the center. And so, sure enough, when we were at KSR, I look, and the one that I had just put in there was this exact one. This is the one that just took out of Clark's, obviously, or Clark took out of there. And the ones that Kevin had at KSR out of his old drive shaft that he said was about 10 years old are solid right here, and they're beefier through this whole section. So it is a physically larger, better U-joint that they used to have in a 1350 that you no longer can get. I guess you can get them through Jerry Pickle, and there's probably some other chassis guys that might have. They must have some kind of custom deal done up or doing something where they have the big, heavy 1350 U-joints. Me, just skipping right past it. Screw it, not gonna mess around with that anymore. We'll just go with the bigger stuff and make it all happen. Probably really need to do it in this car too. So, anyways, good little tech info on there on a 1350 U-joint.
Ready to go make a pass.
Hey Mitch, what are you doing?
Trying to get rid of the stones. I think yesterday we spun on a bunch of stones. So,
Yeah, there's a ledge, because this is mini tub. So when you cut the wheel well out, it leaves a little ledge right there in front of the tire that just collects dirt and stones. Yeah, it dumps a bunch of stones in front of the tires.
Up the balloons. Clowns are going to come out and play. But no bozos today. How's that? One and done.
I did watch Clark's run. I could have walked to the 60-foot faster. It was terrible. He turned the power on though, I can tell you that much.
How was your run at?
It was okay. I've been, I'm just keeping it conservative. I want to make it through the week first. We can turn up the wick tomorrow when as long as I can break the beams is all that matters tomorrow. So I just pulled some boost out of it at the big end of the track, and then I kind of felt it lay over a little bit where I had the boost curve coming down, just trying to not beat on it so hard up top there. The 60-foot was a little bit better. It was still, not as fast as I've been. It was a 130 60-foot.
We can talk about the slip in a minute here.
Oh, I turned the slip in already.
Oh, okay.
So, but that's what it was.
Are you're happy with that then?
Yeah,
you turned it in, you're going to
Yep.
go to the next one.
Yep, we're done.
On to the next one.
Yep.
So the swap begins.
yeah, swap begins. Street mode, engage.
So it looks like Kyle, everything looked real good. I had him, he changed the PID on the boost controller because I was surging on yesterday's pass where it went like 180. And so I said, hey, really don't need to probably make that much boost. I had him turn it down just a little bit on just the top end, and he changed the PID controller. Probably changed two things at once and shouldn't have. So so it went a little slower, 816, 170. Don't care about the 170 because that's just probably a result of me telling him to slow it down up there. So that's all on me. It's my fault. I have to look at the middle, and he hasn't downloaded data yet. Now Clark's car was a total turd. off the line. Looked like it must have went like a 140 something, 60 foot. So I think it was a pooch, and it stalled the first time coming up the stage. So let's go over there and look at some data log and see what's going on.
Get away, camera.
So we're still over here at Clark's car, and I download the data log, and I'm looking at all the data and going, well, this doesn't make any sense. It looks like it did everything it's supposed to do. It did come alive out there. There you go, it's like 772, I think it went 190. And so I was just kind of running the math and thinking about that, and I go, Clark, I go, let's check out all your spark plug wires. Because it also did that deal where I was running, you'll see that it stages the first time, and goes to give it gas, and it comes up, and then all of a sudden it goes, brrr. And so he backed up, and then comes back into it again, and it came up, and it did everything fine, except that when it left, it was a pooch. It only went 144, 60 foot, so it was even a little bit slower than I thought. But I had Clark check the spark plug wires, and yeah, lo and behold, ba-ding! That little spark wire, or that little flash trail, just kills the cylinder. So that 772 was a 7-cylinder pass, and that's why it left so insanely slow, because we got a timing curve in it. It's not making any, a whole lot of boost. So I made 5 pounds of boost, and it's just a turd. So, new spark plug wires, and put that on, and you can almost do the math of how much horsepower it takes to go X amount of speed, and you can back that out, and that's why it looked like that. That looks like a number. Judging from my own car doing it here this last week, of when it's just got one bad plug wire on it, it's like, what the heck? This thing is about, well, that one, because it's so slow in 60, the mile an hour is where I saw it. Mile an hour is about 10 mile an hour off, and that's about one spark plug wire. So, anyways, put this back on. Well, sorry, not putting this on, that's a POS. So that's a piece of crap there. So we're gonna throw that thing away, and got a new spark plug wire on it, and just actually run the same basic tune going down track here, so it should be good. Put the new program in. I just softened it up actually just a little bit more, because even on 7 cylinders you can see the thing's just picking up the tire and out there in the middle, so it's power wheeling all the way out there on 7, so it's definitely going to power wheel on 8. So drop it down a little bit more, because we want to try going faster. Ain't that right, Clark?
Yes.
Yes.
Keep it on the ground.
Yes. Okay. Well, it won't come up on the trans brake there. Did the burnout fine. Acted exactly the same as it did earlier when we did find the bad spark plug wire, so thought we fixed it. So we'll go up there and I'll look at the data log, see if I see anything, and see if it's got something else going on. But it starts the build, and then all of a sudden it's and then it doesn't come back. So not sure what that is. We'll take a look. Good now. Yeah.
The cameraman. You got any candy? I'm done.
I got candy. What happened? What's going on?
Just can't build booze. It just coughing. But then I hit the trans brake.
the first bulb on, and all of a sudden, it just, as soon as I hit the trans brake, it rolls. It's like,
that's not good.
It looks like I'm double bulbing people.
Oh, true. Well, the way to correct that, just send your spotter over to the other car and say, don't wait on me, I've got a problem.
Yeah.
You know, it is. Because I heard Tina Pierce just got burned down at the line.
Oh, I hate that.
And you don't wait. But if you know you've got a problem, just tell your spotter or whatever to run over and tell them.
What I was doing, I was trying to get up there first, get my first bulb on.
Right.
Then I'll roll, and he's got time to do it.
You're trying to time it all.
Yeah.
Tom and I went over that yesterday when he heard his trans. I said, well, can't we, because he had a 10-second time slip, and I'm like, can't we make like a 7? If we can make a 7-second pass, then we can change his tranny overnight. We get one shipped down, and yeah, he said, with the 1-second rule, I can't put braking up. So it's kind of funny that the 1-second rule hurt him.
My first pass that we're going to use.
But we like it.
First pass that we're going to use was 775 over 190.
Right.
Same thing. I rolled crap, so I got on the two-step trans brake real quick.
Right.
This guy just got in, so I got off with a .949 second. Only 5 pounds of boost.
That's living good.
But I mean, I don't want that 1 second crap.
So now all you need is one more run. Tomorrow, one more run. So be careful with it. Let's get it down to the track tomorrow.
On my old transmission before I got the Rosler trans, when I had that same issue, and it ended up being like it was a problem with the pump in the stator, like the pump was broken or something. It was leaking in between first and reverse, so it would never hold the trans brake. You hit the trans brake button, go up on the trans brake, and creep forward because it's got a leak.
But the vibration of the Driveshaft from the track to the checkpoint didn't help nothing.
Oh, definitely.
Because that vibrated so bad, the bolt came out of the tail helped. And leaked all that fluid.
Try it again. Like something dropped out, backs out of the light, pulls back in, comes up on 2-step, comes up fine, leaves, total turd, come back, he's got a spark plug wire in his front. Okay, it's 7 cylinders. Sure. So we put the spark plug wire on it, go back up to the starting line, goes up to it, comes up on, does burn off fine, comes up on the 2-step, and you can't get the throttle in, it won't do anything.
It's going that lean.
It looks like it's going lean.
So have you tried?
Then it's all the way down on the bottom.
Have you tried to idle it on the set of injectors as being a problem?
Yes, and it won't idle on the second set of injectors.
It won't idle at all on them.
Yeah.
So if it won't idle on them, so what I would do is I would unplug all the injectors that are being powered together. Right?
Okay.
So however they're being powered together, I would unplug all of them. I would set my fuel pump prime to like 20 minutes, right? And try to set the injector set that's being the problem to do your prime shot, and then I would confirm that you've got 12 volt in all of them, right? Then I would plug them in and see if you can fire the car on the set of injectors that's the problem. If they don't fire at all, watch the injector driver box, whatever injector driver box is powering, right? So if that injector, if it's this injector driver box that's running that set of injectors that's the problem, watch it, have somebody watch it, and see what it does. It's probably going to flash number 5 blue. If it is, then I would start looking at making sure that this thing has got a good 12 volt to it while cranking. That's just my experience.
Okay. All right. Sweet.
That's just my experience.
Thanks,
No problem.
So they got voltage right now. looks like we're trying to figure out what's going on with Clark's engine side, but then it really didn't end up mattering because it looks like the transmission is hurt. So another victim of transmissions, because the trans brake doesn't work anyway, so we can make the engine work, the trans brake doesn't work. So I think Clark's gonna convert it over. I think Clark's gonna drive it to Orlando, try figuring it out there, try thinking about it, but it looks like his transmission is broke. When that drive shaft U-joint was so bad, it was vibrating so hard, they drove it from South Georgia down to here, to Gainesville, and so they could get, excuse me, so they get new U-joints and get it changed. Said it vibrated so bad it actually knocked the bolts out of the tailstock. So it probably has done some damage to that. So it is, this is typical drag week stuff. It is sheer carnage. So it kind of is what it is. So we're gonna take off. We're going to, Clark's gonna be loading up. Kyle's already rock and roll. We're following along in the minivan of shame. And we call it that because I should be racing the car, not riding in a minivan. And by the way, today is harder for me because I'm a pretty competitive guy, but I'm also just like to race. And I understand and see why people, if they break, they just like, okay, see you, bye, and they leave. Because it really kind of sucks sticking around, waking up in the morning and driving your minivan while everybody else is driving their race cars to the track, and then you get to the racetrack, and at least distracts me a little bit. So at least distracts me a little bit by helping people out on their stuff and watching racing, but this stinks. But we'll fix all this stuff and we're gonna make it a lot better.
Ice cream shop. Time to go get some ice cream because I'm hot. So, and this thing is running about 10 degrees hotter than it normally does. So just put a little bit of, water wetter, cool down additive stuff to it to help it get down. So no problem though. It's all to be expected when it's hot out. So I'm gonna go get some ice cream. So we're here at our first stop on day 4. Is it day 4? On day 4, and it's an ice cream store. And so I've had some time to go through and read some of the comments. And so I thought I'd answer some comments while we're here. One of the primary comments is, hey, why don't you put a aluminum drive shaft or steel drive shaft in there? Here's the answer, because I do not want to lose my legs, because that is a really, in these kind of cars, not your average deal, but in these super high power cars, any of the pro modified stuff, it is all carbon fiber drive shafts. The reason being is, if you twist, which you would, and people are correct, you have this torsional twist in a steel shaft, or even an aluminum shaft, that you don't in a carbon fiber shaft, that's a bad thing in this application, because it will twist, it'll wrap itself around, and it'll blow itself apart. The aluminum ones, the steel ones, they will take your legs off, kill your car at the least, whatever it is. So they are extremely dangerous. So the benefit of the carbon fiber ones are carbon fiber, when they blow up. In fact, as I understand it, I didn't see the video, Ryan Martin had one blow up. That was one of the Street Outlaw guys. Ryan Martin had one blow up and had an in-car camera in at the time, and it's just like dust. I mean, it's just like when they blow apart, they just shred and just turns into powdery stuff, which is way better than a piece of steel that gets
bent, twisted, and starts wailing. Very, very dangerous. You'd be begging for the U-joint to break off then. So anyways, that's why we have the carbon fiber drive shafts in it. That's why I don't put a steel one in it, why I don't put aluminum one in it. Could not make it all happen. By the time anybody could have gotten me a drive shaft, a new carbon fiber drive shaft, even if one of the companies, PST or somebody else, dropped everything they had going on, made a brand new one for me, could somehow manage to get it to me, you know, eating ice cream. Total animal.
Amazing ice cream.
Wants the camera time.
Yeah.
Anyways, by the time anybody could have got anything done for me, it would have been it would have been a miracle for me to even make a pass yesterday. So it just wasn't even practical, conceivable. That's why. And once you miss one whole day, I mean, you're out. So that's why we decided to do that. And now I'm just helping Kyle out here, helping Clark out, who's also struggling along. Had that drive shaft and U-joint issue. Now has a transmission issue. Now has some kind of random wiring / something issue going on. Don't know exactly what's going on. So that's where we're at now. So you'll see us at the next checkpoint, and I think I'll try to read some more comments and see if there's anything else could answer for you guys. Oh yes, and we'll be going for a 1480 drive shaft. There was also no point, even if I could have miraculously got everything to work, I would have had to put it basically back together as a 1350 deal, which was just going to break again anyway. So it's like, well, why spend the money and potentially have all the problems and re-break again for one pass, or slow it down so much that I wouldn't break it. No point in it. So we are going with big shaft. I'm working on a Carmack rear end right now. Might have a good deal or some kind of deal worked out on that. Big billet, 11-inch ring gear, all billet, rear end housing and gear set. So got a lot of stuff going on trying to make this thing not happen again, because we need to lean on this harder so we can go faster. We can go faster, but I got to get that 60 foot and got to be able to leave harder before it's real conceivable. So anyways, see you at the next checkpoint.
Boys
and girls,
if you're watching, it's a very low demographic, but shout out to all the ladies out there. I'm single. Pretty good drive. It kind of sucked with the traffic going through Daytona Beach, but we made it. It's all good. This is the final checkpoint, so I think we're gonna regroup and hit the hotel.
Are you front down right now?
I'm in a class with a bunch of dang pro mods, man.
Now you can park up front.
He can park up front.
Special parking.
Yep, he's now been quarantined.
I mean, you can drink it, but...
Thanks, man.
So we're final checkpoint for the day. We're how far away from Orlando?
Like an hour.
So
I don't know how many miles.
I don't know. It looks like we got about another hour to go. We're really close. So obviously I'm out. Kyle is in. He's in, and so we're gonna, Lord willing, we're gonna make it happen. everything's looking good so far, and we're gonna close this episode out and catch you tomorrow, because we're going to make that initial pass is probably the plan. If everything pans out, we make the initial pass, we're all done, and then it's time to turn the wick up a little bit. Not so much that it kicks all the rods out of it,
But enough that like you're pressing the up arrow at least a couple of times.
Kyle's gonna press the up arrow.
No more than 3 times, maybe twice.
No more than 3 times. So, anyways, make sure you like, subscribe, and comment all you'd like. I've been reading, since I'm out, I've been reading comments. I'm scrolling through there to see what people got to say. I was thinking, was there anything I need to address on comments I heard about? Some people have been sending me some recommendations on U-joints, 1480 U-joints. That's pretty interesting. And I think that's about it. So anyways, I'm Steve Morris. That's Kyle Morris. He's still racing. I'm not. Have a great night.